Imagine this. A glamorous wedding, endless headlines, the picture-perfect life everyone dreams of, and then suddenly, rumors begin swirling, a missing wedding ring, a cryptic confession, and whispers of a marriage on the brink. That's the storm Olivia Attwood finds herself in right now. A woman who has built her career on brutal honesty, raw television appearances, and an ability to shock audiences, suddenly finds her own life taking center stage in ways she could never have predicted. And the entire nation is asking, what is really going on with Olivia Attwood, her marriage, and that startling confession where she called herself a bad wife? Tonight, we dig deep into the truth behind the headlines, uncover the layers of this mystery, and try to understand what this revelation really means for Olivia, her husband Bradley Dack, and the fans who've stood by her through every scandal, every success, and every heartbreak. It all began quietly, almost too quietly. Fans noticed something strange. Olivia wasn't wearing her wedding ring in several public appearances. For a celebrity whose whirlwind wedding was covered like a royal event, this was no small detail. Rings are symbols, and in the world of fame where every glance and gesture is magnified, the absence of that diamond didn't just go unnoticed, it went viral. Social media erupted with speculation. Was there trouble in paradise? Was Olivia hiding something? Or was this just another case of fans reading too much into something trivial? But then Olivia herself stepped forward with words that threw gasoline on the fire. In an interview, she casually but shockingly admitted, "I'm a bad wife." And just like that, the story took on a life of its own. NNTO, understand why this confession hit so hard. You have to know Olivia's journey. She first rose to fame on Love Island, a show where relationships were born, tested, and often shattered under the public eye. From day one, Olivia stood out. Bold, outspoken, unafraid to speak her mind. She was never the girl to play it safe. That attitude made her a star, but it also made her a target. Critics labeled her as too much. Tabloids dissected her every word, and fans either adored her or couldn't stand her. But Olivia never backed down. She built her career on being unapologetically herself, which is exactly why her marriage to Bradley Dack, the professional footballer, seemed like such a refreshing twist. Here was Olivia, the queen of drama, settling into a love story that looked solid, romantic, and unshakable. Their lavish wedding, their declarations of love, the dreamy photos, they made it seem like Olivia had finally found stability. NNBUT stability doesn't always sell, and in celebrity culture, stability rarely lasts. The missing ring mystery reignited everything Olivia had once tried to escape. Was her relationship crumbling? Was her confession more serious than she let on? And more importantly, what does Olivia mean when she says she's a bad wife? Some fans interpreted her words with humor, suggesting Olivia was simply being her sarcastic self. After all, she's always been someone who enjoys stirring the pot. But others weren't laughing. They believed Olivia was hinting at deeper cracks in her marriage, a subtle cry for help, or even an indirect way of confirming rumors that had been floating for months. And if you know Olivia, you know she never says anything by accident. Even her most offhand remarks have power. That's the nature of fame. Every word can spark a storm. NNBUT. Here's where things get even more complicated. Olivia hasn't just built her brand on entertainment. She's built it on transparency. Fans have watched her battles with health issues, her struggles with mental well-being, and her raw openness about things most celebrities would never dare to share. This is what makes her different. This is what makes her magnetic. So when she says she's a bad wife, people don't just dismiss it as a joke. They take it seriously because Olivia has taught them to take her seriously. And that's where the pain of this story begins to sink in. What does it mean to feel like a bad wife? For Olivia, the answer may be wrapped up in the impossible pressures of living in the public eye. Marriage is hard enough in private. Add in paparazzi, gossip columns, endless Instagram scrutiny, and suddenly every fight, every compromise, every imperfection becomes a headline. Maybe Olivia wasn't confessing to some grand betrayal. Maybe she was admitting something more human, that she struggles, that she doesn't always get it right, that being in love while being famous feels like trying to juggle fire. If that's the truth, then her confession isn't just shocking, it's deeply relatable. NNBUT. Of course, the tabloids don't trade in relatability, they trade in drama. And Olivia's missing ring quickly became a circus. Headlines screamed about divorce, anonymous sources whispered about infidelity. Comment sections filled with speculation, judgment, and even cruelty. That's the double-edged sword of celebrity life. You gain an audience, but you also lose your privacy. And Olivia, more than most, knows this better than anyone. NNSO. Where does Bradley Dack fit into this? By all accounts, Bradley has been a steady, supportive figure in Olivia's life. Their love story, full of ups and downs, second chances, and dramatic reconciliations, has always fascinated fans. They weren't a fairy tale couple. They were real, flawed, passionate, and complicated, which is exactly why people connected with them. But now, as Olivia faces this storm, Bradley's silence has spoken louder than words. He hasn't rushed to publicly defend her, he hasn't posted long declarations on social media, and in the world of celebrity marriages, silence breeds suspicion. NNBUT maybe, just maybe, that silence is intentional. Maybe it's their way of protecting what's left of their privacy. Maybe Bradley knows that every word he says will be twisted, every statement dissected, and every defense turned into another headline. Sometimes silence isn't weakness, it's strength. And if that's the case, then perhaps Olivia's confession wasn't a warning sign of collapse. Perhaps it was a moment of vulnerability, one that the tabloids hijacked, and one that only she and Bradley can truly understand. And still, the wedding ring mystery lingers. Fans demand answers. Was it lost? Was it a personal choice? Or is it a symbol of something deeper, something Olivia isn't ready to admit? The truth may never fully come out, but one thing is clear. Olivia Attwood has once again managed to capture the nation's attention, not with a TV role or a stage scandal, but with a raw, personal, emotional confession that forces us to see the woman behind the headlines. And maybe that's the point. Olivia has never been about perfection. She's never been the picture of the flawless celebrity wife. She's messy, she's emotional, she's real. And in a world where so many stars hide behind filters and fake smiles, Olivia's honesty, even when it hurts, sets her apart. Yes, she may call herself a bad wife, but maybe that's just another way of saying she's human. NNSO. As the rumors swirl, as fans debate, and as headlines scream, remember this: Olivia Attwood's story isn't finished. Whether her marriage emerges stronger, whether the ring returns, whether she embraces or rejects that shocking label, bad wife, only time will tell. But one thing is certain: Olivia Attwood will continue to live her life in the only way she knows how, unfiltered, unapologetic, and completely, utterly herself. And that's why we're still watching. That's why we're still talking. Because love her or hate her, Olivia Attwood knows how to keep the world on edge, waiting for the next twist in her story. NNSO. What do you think? Was Olivia's confession a lighthearted quip taken too seriously, or a glimpse into something far more fragile and heartbreaking? Whatever the truth, one thing is undeniable. This mystery has only just begun, and fans everywhere are desperate to see what happens next. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more updates, breaking stories, and deep dives into the moments that leave us all shocked, moved, and endlessly curious.